So Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna. I am honored to be in your association today. It's great book distributors that are carrying on the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the world. Prabhupada was pretty clear about it. He says that the success of your preaching will be substantiated by how many books are sold. So how many books are sold? So we just heard, not too long ago, we were here to go over your numbers. And it was impressive beyond my wildest imagination to see how book distribution has expanded, especially in this group here. And now you come to Tennessee as an answer to my own prayer. So see how wonderful. Plus, we have in our group, the Vrindavan Forest group, we have Chandrasekhar Prabhuji, a stalwart Prabhupada disciple who is distributing pallets of books in the prison ministry. And it's to my credit that he's at my temple now. Okay. So you're going to be seeing his name on the book distribution roster, so you guys better get serious. He's coming after you. That's right. Also, we have a Jai back here in the back who distributed 5 full sets last month. And he says he's going to do 10 sets this month, and then 15 the next, and then 20 the next. And how many does it go to? Several million, I believe is what you said. Yeah. So you guys better get ready. We're going to be back on the list, right? Okay. So when I think about it, I go way back, okay? So I remember from early, in 1971, everywhere I would go, I was a musician. I was playing with this thing called the Tommy Rock Opera at the time. So I was traveling all the cities, Boston, Miami, LA, San Francisco, everywhere. Everywhere I would go, there would be these devotees who would run up with a BTG in their hand. And many times it was a bunch of Madhajis like that, all dressed up very, very nicely. And they always hit me up with a book, but they never stayed and talked to me. Nobody ever stayed and talked to me. Nobody ever invited me to the temple. And I thought, what is this about? It's a very beautiful group, very cultural group. But I was thinking, hey, it'd be nice if I really knew more about you. So the one thing I'd like to encourage you guys to do immediately and always is to always invite people to come back to the temples. Show them in the back of the book where their local temple is, where they can go and get additional association. Because until they immerse themselves in friendship with a Vaishnava, it's not going to happen. Because Guru Kripa comes through you. It's coming down the line through you and some of that. So please preach to these people. Please take your time. On the way over here today, we were talking to a friend of mine who was a fanatic Christian. And about 12 years ago, he asked me, I represented him in real estate transactions. And he asked me, he said, so what's your beliefs? And I told him, I said, well, I'm a Hare Krishna. Basically, I've studied the Vedic literature, all of them. There's only one way. And so we get into this whole thing. You've probably been through it a few thousand times last week. So, yeah, I understand. So the thing was, I preached to him anyway, and he did not like it. Funny how he didn't like that. Chandrasekhar showed me a picture the other day or something, just had this beautiful couple, householder couple, and they were just gorgeous, and they just got back from the Hare Krishna temple, and they said, we just found out that we were bags of stool. So I thought that's pretty appropriate. So sometimes when you hear our philosophy, it sometimes goes right past our head, right? The first time I saw the BTG, I tried to read the words. I couldn't read the words. I couldn't understand anything about it, so we just threw it in the back of the car, right? So then the years go by, 1972, they're distributing more books to me. And we started looking at the books after a while. And we think, well, this is some freaky stuff, Prabhupada's on the front, he's pointing up. Wonder what he's pointing at. We don't know. Right? We're trying to figure it out. So we were hippies, right? And we had hair down to here. We were playing rock and roll every night. So the idea is gradually, it started to make a difference to me. Just like it made a difference to my friend who called me today and said he's becoming a Hare Krishna.
Whoa!
To be his guru. And I'm going, well, we'll send you to somebody qualified. Okay? So the idea, probably down here, visit with Bhakti Vikas and one of you guys. But the idea is, he was a fanatic Christian. He was against everything I believed in, and now he's for it. Now he's all excited about it. Now he says that, no, it's not a sectarian concept. It's a concept for everyone. God is the Father of everyone. Everyone, everywhere. It doesn't matter what church they're going to. Doesn't matter what culture they're born in. Doesn't matter what nation they're from.
You were saying this?
He was, well, I told him this before, but he didn't understand it. And now he's preaching it back to me.
Oh,
So you see, this does work, guys, but it takes a little while. It's like if you go to the doctor and the doctor's going to give you some medicine, you take a pill, you expect everything to be cured immediately. It takes a little while. So we're in the Bhaktivedanta hospital. Everybody is. The whole world is in the Bhaktivedanta hospital. And so now these books are going out. How many books are out now, John? What, 570 million books have been distributed. 800 plus temples are being built. When I first went to Vrindavan, India, in the 70s, there was nothing there. Krishna Balaram temple just was open. Other than that, there was nothing. They did the guest house. There was no furniture. We slept on the floor. So the idea is things are changing in the world, and it's because of you. No one is more dear to Krishna than you, because you're out giving this information that Prabhupada wants the world to have. His mission is based around book distribution. Okay, that's the essence of what we do here. That's the essence of what we do. So when we go back and I think about what happened to me, I want to give you some advice from what I had learned, back in the old days. Because when I first started, nobody stopped to tell me about what was Krishna. They would just hit me up, take all my money, and they would leave. They didn't really know how to do it very well, to be honest with you. They just hit us up and left. One day I was setting in 1973, I think it was. I was setting in Ram Dasa's ashram. Maybe it was 72. He just put out this book called Be Here Now. And I read the book, and it didn't make any sense to me. I wanted to find out what he was talking about, so I went to his ashram. We were playing at this club called the Peppermint Tree in San Francisco. And so I figured, well, let's go up to Hyde-Ashbury. So I go up there by myself. The band's not into it. Okay, the band's into drugs and sex, drugs, rock and roll. That was basically our motto. Actually, my motto was, I can't get no satisfaction. Although I try and I try and I try. There was a hit song at the time by Rolling Stones. I'm trying to get satisfaction. I'm trying to squeeze it out of this material body and out of the material world. But all I have is really a bag of stool to work with. Let's be honest. Right? I mean, stop and think about it a few moments. Did you enjoy birth, death, old age, disease? Everybody having a good time with that? Probably not. It's going to get worse the older you get. Am I right? We know a little bit about it. Okay? So the idea is what choice do we have? Rot in the material world and let everybody else rot with you? Grab a gun, go in and shoot everybody in Walmart? Is that the answer? Seems like that's the modern day answer, doesn't it? Hear about it every day. Right? I'm going to take as many with me as I can. Well, so am I. So are you. But how are we doing it? We're using the bullets of this Sankirtan movement. We're warriors for Srila Prabhupada. Our gun is the Bhagavad Gita. Our gun is the philosophy. We will defeat you with a pen. We don't need a sword. We will defeat your nonsense philosophy. Prabhupada did it everywhere he went all the time. All we have to do is speak what Prabhupada told us. We don't have to be that intelligent. I found that out. Right? So I'm doing pretty good because I have very little intelligence. So all I really have to do is just hand out Prabhupada's intelligence to people. And I watch them just come to life. Like we do these kirtans at these yoga studios and so forth. And in the audience, we'll see, at first we'll start chanting. Everybody's like, what is this? We don't know what this is. Sometimes we'll ask people, how many of you chanted? There's 3 or 4 in the room. We've been doing this for a long time. So now when you ask them how many of you chanted, the hands are going up left and right. Used to be 1 or 2. Now it's almost everybody in the group knows what kirtan is. Right? When I was a vegetarian, everybody thought I was crazy. And, I was, 70 years old. 1970, I became a vegetarian. They were, are you crazy or something? Now everybody's talking about vegetarian. How is this happening? This is how this is happening. Prabhupada decided to leave Vrindavan, come to this hellish country to talk to a bunch of heroin addicts and drug addicts and gutter snipes like us. And Prabhupada brings us this nectar. We can't even understand it. It takes time. So don't give up on anybody. Don't ever give up on anybody. Stay with them. You'll watch them come. So when we're doing kirtan, we'll start seeing tears come from their eyes sometimes. And we see that they're being turned. Krishna is touching them in their heart. We see like that. So gradually they want to be more and more interested. They want to come and get involved. So we needed places like this all over the world, just like this one right here, where people can come. We had a band, we called it the Brahmacari Band in 1976. And this is right after Mangalananda did his album, and Prabhupada heard his album. And Mangalananda said to Prabhupada, he said, the big guns don't like it, Prabhupada, they think it's Maya. Prabhupada looked at Mangalananda and said, let the cows move. Continue, this will be successful. So the idea is, yes, we have millions of songs to sing for Krishna. We want to bring them in this environment. So we distributed this album called the Murari album. And this is in 1976. Previously, we were doing only books. But we decided to do the record. We want to see what would happen. So we printed a few thousand of them just to see. We figured it would not be successful. It was wildly successful. Mangalananda's album was wildly successful. There are people all over the world that hear this album and have been changed at heart. The album's called Change Our Heart. I don't know if you've heard it or not. It's a beautiful, beautiful album. You've not heard it. And the songs are all Krishna conscious. And they're songs that Prabhupada gave us and said, yes, do this and you will be successful. So I remember one time we get calls from the album, and one boy called from Fort Campbell, and he said, do you think I could surrender to this program? I heard your album and I'd like to join up. So he was in the military. And I'm like, for real? And he goes, yeah. And so I go up and I see the general and the major and all these people, and I talk them out of letting this guy go to come to be in my bike program. So he leaves the military and comes home. So don't think that anything you do is in vain. It is not in vain. Okay? Everything you do is in vain. Those books that I was given in 71, 72, they all sunk into my life. And then when I was sitting with Ram Das, all of a sudden I hear this sound. This is unusual. Why it would happen at this very moment, but I hear this sound, and it's something like I've heard forever. I knew it was an eternal sound. And it was like, next thing I know, the windows are rattling with the drum. Boom, 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 boom. You know, it's like you guys were doing a moment ago. So, beautiful kirtan today. Beautiful kirtan. That's strong. So, when I saw that, all of a sudden, all these orange robes with bald heads are going by the window. And I asked Ram Das, what is that? He said, oh, that's the Hare Krishnas. I said, that's just a Hare Krishna. I'm like, just a Hare Krishna? He said, yeah. So what are they doing? He said, they're probably having a love-in or love feast at the park. And I went, not these guys, right? Because back then it meant something different, if you know what I mean. So he said, yeah, we're getting ready to go have one too. But his was a little different. He invited me to go. I said, no, I think I'm going to go find these guys. So I ran out looking for them, and they had disappeared from the planet Earth.
Oh my God.
I don't know where they went. I ran down Ashbury, ran down Ashbury, ran all around. They were gone. Completely gone. All he had to do was say, the temple is right behind us. Just go around the building. You'll find them there. Prabhupada's probably in there. No one ever invited me to a Hare Krishna temple, people. Please invite everybody you meet to a Hare Krishna temple. Let them make friends with Chandra. Let them make friends with Vishnu Chitta. Let them make friends with all you guys. This is the friendship they need. This is the camaraderie they need. They need the association of the Vaishnava devotee. Even one moment of that association of a Vaishnava devotee can change people's lives. I see it happen all the time. So I ran a bhakti program in Atlanta for many years, and we just shaved them up. We just pretty much shave them up. We wouldn't let them live. We would not let them live. So my story kind of started when I got we were getting BTGs, right? But in 73, let me ask you, do you know if the airport in Atlanta was open in 73? I'm not sure. You know? Does anybody know? I think it would have been long after that. It would have been right about 73, early 74.
Salas and Charadeshna came up to New York, and I think it was. Because Salas and Charadeshna, remember Charadeshna?
Yeah. I'm going to tell that story.
So they came up to New York because something was happening with the airport. So probably 73,
73. So I was going to, I was a musician, so I was flying through the airport going to some gig somewhere. And this big, beautiful ebony devotee, man, just gorgeous man, this tall, beautiful smile, just looking down at me. I never had an experience like this. And he said, put a Bhagavad Gita in my hand. It was the old first version that came out, the rich version of no Sanskrit. He put it in my hand. He said, have you ever read Bhagavad Gita? And I said, oh yeah, I read it, thanks. And I'm getting ready to walk away. He said, ho, have you read Bhagavad Gita? I said, yes. And I said, well, I don't know about that. I said, I read all this Huxley's version. He went, nonsense. He said, you got to read this book. So I said, okay. So he flips through it a minute. He said, just taking a donation. I had just bought something at the concession. I gave him all my money. I couldn't help myself. And I took the Bhagavad Gita home, basically. Now, before that happened, actually, I had gotten a Krishna book out of the trash can at an airport. And it was covered in tobacco spittle. Oh. All over. It was nasty. And I thought, here's this beautiful picture of Krishna. And by the way, John McLaughlin came out with an album. I'm a musician, so you might know John McLaughlin. He's an English guy, very popular guy. He loved Eastern music. He had a picture of Krishna on the front of his album called Mahavishnu Orchestra. And so he was affected in '69 by this Eastern philosophy. And I remember having that picture and just meditating on the picture of Krishna and crying and wondering, what's wrong with me? Why would I feel this way about a picture? Well, later, when I found Krishna in the trash can and wiped the spittle off his face, I felt the same way again. And I thought, what is this? What is this magnetism? So I opened a book, and it said in the front, George Harrison had printed this book, like 10,000 copies or so. This is the first 10,000 copies. So it said, Krishna, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, all are one. And I was thinking, that's what I think. How could he be thinking like that? Because that's how I felt about it. So I felt immediately attraction, but when I opened to the page on the Milk Oceans, I kind of closed the book again. I went, man, I ain't that high yet. No, I'm sorry, I'm not that stoned. But one day, I'm serious, one day, this is a little irreverent, okay? But we were hippies, all right? So forgive me. But one day, these Matajis in Miami, Florida, ran up and hit us up with so many BTGs. And we had a stack of BTGs this big, man. Everybody gave all their money. The whole band gave their money. We were going into the mall or something. So they just threw the book. They were going to throw it away. I don't know. I took them back to the car. And I remember that night, it was my turn to roll the weed. I'm being honest. Okay? So I had to clean the weed out. Right? Because you take the book and you open it up, clean it out, get some of the thing, you empty the seeds, and you smoke the weed. That's what we did every night before we got on the stage. Because we thought we needed to get high, because our natural state was not good enough. See? This was the impression we had. We thought we were going to improve ourselves. So anyway, so we were doing this, and I remember cleaning the weed, and as the weed was pouring down, Vishnu Jan's face kept appearing again and again and again and again. And he was playing the mridanga with the Empire State Building out the back here. It was at Rathiatra in New York, probably 72, something like that. But
we were just singing in Times Square.
Times Square, is that what it was? It was just Times Square. So I was looking at this picture, and I told the guys, I said, whatever he's smoking, that's what we need to be doing. Oh. And at the bottom of the page, it said, chant Hare Krishna and stay high forever. And I thought, there it is, boy. I threw the weed away. I started chanting Hare Krishna.
Wow.
On that. Wow. And Vishnu Jan's face, contorted in a state of ecstasy, was the reason. Because when I saw how happy he was and how he was affected by this, I said, that's the answer. That's what we're looking for. We tried peyote, psilocybin, we tried marijuana. Everybody's trying everything in the world. Nothing's working. I can't get no satisfaction. I try. And I try. And I try. But I still ain't getting no satisfaction. So I needed a little satisfaction. Don't we need some satisfaction? Raise your hand if you need some satisfaction. Okay, there you go. Where are you going to get it? Material world? Good luck. Good luck. It's poisonous, okay? All it does is poison you to death. So what you got to do is start drinking the immortal nectar, right? And that's the Charnamrita. That's what we're doing now. So after reading that, I thought, wow, I need to find these guys. Couldn't find them. They'd never stopped, never talked to me, whatever it was. So when Charnation had distributed the book, I looked in the back and I figured, well, I'm in Atlanta. I'm based out of Atlanta. So it said Sunday Love Feast.
It was Charnation.
Charnation distributed the books.
That's it.
Wow. Little did I know I would be carrying his book bags and helping him become #1 book distributor in the world within about 2 or 3 months. Just a few months. Just a few months. That's how fast it acts. That's how fast this medicine can act. We were doing this, the old Atlanta Airport, Hearts field.
Yes, sir.
We left our heart on that field, I promise you. Many days. 16-hour days, trying to catch the rush, running after the rush. Chardation was always, hurry up, Dr. Gary, hurry up. Need more books, the rush is coming. I'd run out to the van outside, I'd bring him back in. Well, they didn't know I was a good book runner. They thought I was a pot washer at first, right? So I was good at scrubbing the pot, but I could never get it clean enough. Ramana Shuka was our cook, you know, and he was never satisfied. Hey, Dr. Gary, you got to take this pot back. This is your heart. Your heart's filthy, man. You got to scrub this. I just scrub that thing and bring it back, and you never had it. Burnt sweet rice, right? Your plan scrub that pot? Who scrubbed that pot? Burnt sweet rice. Anybody? You got one man in the house. Burnt sweet rice. It's the worst thing. You don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so they found out that I had sold Encyclopedia Britannica in college. And they said, oh, you're not going to wash pots. You're out in Sacramento. Book distribution. So from that day, for 8 years in Brahmacari ashram, I was out about 16 hours a day. Without a break. Wind, cold, rain. I was the pony express. And so I remember we were doing the Atlanta airport, and Chardation had got a mention in the St. Tom newsletter about Prabhupada. And I had been his book carrier, so I was feeling pretty good. You know, I'd been running the books back and forth to him. So when that happened, we got turned on fire. And we took on Old Harare Airport.
Oh, yeah.
We took on Old Harare Airport. We took on the LA Airport. We took on, who else was it? Who else was the big gun spec? Old Radhajar was big, obviously real big. And so we were fighting tooth and nail every day to try to get Prabhupada's attention. Balavanta told me something one time that really kind of changed my life and changed the trajectory of my entire life. And I'll tell you what it was. Everybody would leave to go see Prabhupada wherever he was at. The temple was empty. When Prabhupada was in Baltimore, he was in Philadelphia, he'd go to New York, he'd go to Chicago, he'd go to Denver, he'd go to Houston, wherever Prabhupada was, the temple emptied out. Now, in Atlanta, everybody took off. And I was the Sankirtan party leader. And so I was asked to stay back. And Balavanta, I said, well, I want to go see Prabhupada. He said, don't try to see Prabhupada. You might have heard this one, I don't know. But he said, act in such a way that Prabhupada will see you. And I thought, that's credible. I mean, that's good. Reasonable advice. So I said, let's do that, right? So I figured, I'll just stay out. Because I remember the story about Prabhupada being with Bhaktisiddhanta, saying that he was always there still. When everybody else would leave, he was listening to the spiritual master. So I figured, I'm a Brahmacari. I'm not going to exercise any free will here. My temple president told me what to do. I'm going to do it. That happened 6 or 7 times. And then Prabhupada was coming at the very end, and he had to turn around and go back because he was sick. So all of you guys are serving in separation, am I right?
Yeah.
How many of you have seen Prabhupada? Raise your hand if you've seen Prabhupada. No hands. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you need to see Prabhupada? You're number 1 book distributors in the world. Do you need to see Prabhupada? Yes, you see him every single day, all day long. He's right here. He's never left. He's in his books. When you ask for Prabhupada, Prabhupada comes to you. He will come to you. He will give you the intelligence that you need. And have you ever noticed that Prabhupada, the whole system takes you to the edge of abyss, just like Prahlad Maharaj, and then he gets thrown over. And at the last second, Krishna catches him. You ever notice that? Does that ever happen to you? Yeah, it happens. We get taken to the greatest challenges because Krishna wants to see who you are. He wants to see if you're going to hang. He wants to see if you're going to bow out. Well, I saw a lot of people fall on the battlefield. We're still here.
Gayatri sold books in the Smoky Mountains for years. Sulochan, how did he deal with the demons?
Well, that's another story. Well, the Atlanta airport was a big time for us, okay? And I distributed the Balabhadra. I want to tell you something about Balabhadra real quick, though. Because Balabhadra hit me up at the red light, And I did not know that Balabudra and I would do every red light all over the seven southern states for years. I mean, all day. You don't want to distribute with Balabudra. Because you're going to be tired, you're going to be complaining, Balabudra ain't listening. He ain't paying no attention to you. He's going, come on guys, we got service. We got some service to do. We stand out there, cars are going by, people yelling at us. We didn't care. We got arrested in every town and village. I've been in jail more times than most criminals. And I'm proud of it, because I did it on behalf of my spiritual master. One time I was Santa Claus, because we were talking about the Christmas marathon, right? So they made me Santa Claus, and I'm like, because I would do anything. You know, they just, he's crazy enough, let's dress him up. So anyway, I got this white beard on, and this big belly and everything. Before the day was over, I had to take the pillows out because it was stuffed with cash. Oh, stuffed with cash. And all the mothers are bringing their children. And then finally, and we're not really doing that much books, okay? We're just collecting money. So the idea was the police come up, and they get me and they pick me up, and they put my hands behind my back and cuff me up. And they're going, this isn't Santa Claus. And I go, oh, yes, I am. I promise you, I'm Santa Claus. And the mothers are going, what? And the children are starting to cry. And they start carrying me out of the mall, this is Linux Mall. And you know how they put your head down when you're going in the police car? They had a picture of this on the news. Gayatri Dasa being put in the police cars, impersonating Santa Claus, as if you can be Santa Claus or something. I don't know how you do that. But anyway, so they bailed me out, and the next day I went to another mall and I was Santa Claus again. So you get the idea, right? We don't care. We're not here to please the public. We're here to please. Can you say it?
Your Prabhupada.
Prabhupada says we're here to please Krishna. We're here to please Krishna. And that's our goal in life. And we don't really care what people think about it, do we? Not really.
No.
However, here's a couple of statements Prabhupada made, and you ought to hear them. One is, he says, the art is to sell many, many books and not irritate the public. Prabhupada said that. That's his quote, not mine. But we did irritate the public. Matter of fact, we thought we were doing the right thing. And I remember in 75, I think it was, maybe Tripurari and Pragosh and Visheshika, they came to Atlanta. And they took us out, me and Chardeshna and Balabudra and Vaishnavananda were the book distributors, primary book distributors there. And they took us out and they showed us the art of changing up people. So we did. And we changed them up real hard. Oh. I was thinking you were about to change the guy up for 10 grand. I was thinking, wow, this is the biggest change up I've ever seen. Take the envelope and give him 100 back and go, is that okay? That's what we would have done. Well, I'm just being honest. We would have done that. We go, well, you need, there's more. Here's another 100, is that okay? And then we just stack him up with books. And this guy would be going out with 50 books up to here. And he was a sweet boy. You know what a sweet boy is? Anybody know?
Serviceman.
Serviceman, there you go. He's an experienced book distributor here. So whenever we see a sweet boy, he'd be going through the thing, and Balabudra or me or Chardeshna or whoever it was, they finally forced us to stay in a booth because we were rampant. Okay, we were causing trouble. And so we'd have to scream across the room and go, you! And it's a service guy. So, you know, the servicemen always look around like, you know, okay, yes, sir. You know, get over here. What are you doing? The guy would come over and go, hey, you get your book today. You know, we'd hand him the book. And, do you get paid today? See, I just cashed my check. I said, could you help me out? I've got all these ones. And you don't happen to have a big bill, do you? He said, well, I got a few hundreds here. You mind if I see it? I'd take a couple of them and I'd give him back a couple of dollars, $3 or $4. That'd be okay here. Here's some extra books. This is how we were doing it, guys. Now, did that irritate the public?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Did it give us a bad name?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Is that why the books ended up in the trash can? Yes, sir. So what I want you to know is be honest, be a Brahmin, be a preacher, preach to people, give them something. You've got the best thing. This is a group, this is the most intelligent group of people anywhere around here. Why? Because you've surrendered your lives to Krishna through your spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Is there any higher thing you could do? Name it. What is it? You could go be a scientist and study the dung beetle the rest of your life if you want. That's what people do. Or you could be a Hare Krishna devotee and go back home, back to Godhead. Take as many with you as you can. So at one point, Chandra was saying, we decided that we needed different places to distribute books. Because in Atlanta airport, they were keeping us confined. They wouldn't really let us out. You know, if we got out, they would come and harass us. But we got to distribute to a lot of great celebrities in there I wanted to tell you about. I distributed the book to Lloyd Bridges. You don't know him, but he was Sea Hunt. You might remember. We're old enough to remember these shows. But he was a very famous actor, and he got to take a book. And then Kool and the Gang took a book. And then one day, me and Nirguna were out in the parking lot. We saw Loretta Lynn. She took a book. I mean, so a lot of great personalities were taking books. Wherever we would go, we'd find some pretty good celebrities to take the books. There were no real cameras back then. There was no internet. I mean, when I look at the internet and see what you guys are doing, I got to have a towel or something, man. I'll start getting liquefied. Because what you're doing is so beautiful, so wonderful. You should know that people love you for it. Prabhupada loves you for it. We love you for it. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't give out. Keep going. One day we were out with Chardashna on his Sankirtan party. This is before I became a Sankirtan party leader. And we never stayed in any hotel. We slept in the van together, heat, cold, whatever it was. We had a bowl, we had cowpens, we'd throw the water on our head. We'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, we'd do the deal every day. Sometimes we'd wake up. I had a Sankirtan party one time, we were lost in Virginia, and it was called Hungry Mother State Park. Has anybody ever been there? Don't go. Hungry Mother. I mean, that don't sound right, does it? You don't want your mother to be hungry. Your mother shouldn't be hungry ever. She should be taken care of at all times. But we stayed at Hungry Mother State Park. And I remember we couldn't see where we were going. We were illegal. We weren't supposed to stay at this park. And so it was my Sankirtan party, and I was in charge of all these guys. So I had pulled up, and I heard this water running. I thought, well, good, we can get our bowls out in the morning, you know, everything would be nice. So it was freezing cold, guys. So we slept. There were stalagmites growing off the top of the thing. Okay, because, you know, I'm serious. We got a sleeping bag. I'm sorry?
It was that cold.
It was that cold. And there were stalagmites coming off the top just from breathing. All the devotees breathe. We get up at 4:30, you know, we're ready to go. It's pitch black. We can't see what we're doing, but we hear the water running. So I never told you this story. So we go over to where the water's running. We still can't see what it is. And I go, well, just put your bowl in here, man. So we put our bowl in there, and we take our baths, and we go to do Bhagavatam, Mangalartik and everything. We have Bhagavatam. The lights are coming on outside. We look over. We were standing next to a chasm that was like 1,000 feet down with this waterfall going over, and we just taken a bath there. But we could have fallen right in this. I could have drove into this thing.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So this is one story. One story was when Chardashna was Sankirtan party leader. We were distributing in Bristol, Tennessee. And it was the worst ice storm and snowstorm we had had in many, many years. I did not know that, but apparently it was. And so the snow was up to here. Chardashna takes the van. We all get out. We walk slopping around. And guys, Hare Krishna is not ready for this kind of activity. Because we got our clothes out of the merge that morning. Do you know what the merge is?
No.
You know what the merge is? Yeah. Old guys know what the merge is. So when you join the Hare Krishna movement, whatever you own, you throw it in the merge.
Oh, I see.
Now in the merge, all right? So if you need something, you go there and you get it out of the merge. It's always the worst wrinkled, horrible thing you've ever seen. Somebody's parents gave them back in 1950 something that looks god awful, and you're out on Sankirtan wearing this. That's why I think it's wonderful you guys go out like this. Okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful. So, but anyway, we're wearing the merge, you know, and we're out slopping around in flip-flops and tennis shoes, and the snow is deep. Chardashna says, I'm going to make an executive decision. And we went, really? Nobody ever made an executive decision. Nobody. You got to call Bob Barton, man. You know, we're we're eating peanuts and raisins, man. So, you know, we're sitting out there and doing the austerity. So he says, we're going to get a hotel room today. It's just too cold for those. I went, a hotel room? So we got the worst hotel room. He was sticking to the floor in this hotel room, just walking in. You know, it was moochy, man. So ungodly, but it became totally transcendental. Because Charlie had decided to make curd steak with gravy. Can I hear it? Come on, hard. Curd steak and gravy? We don't even get that on Sunday feast, right? So Charnation whipped it up. We had a little Bunsen burner or whatever it was. The whole day we're reading Krishna book together. It was one of the most ecstatic experiences I've ever had. It was snowing so hard you couldn't even see out the window. Nobody was at the mall. He said, come on, you boys ain't going to distribute any books today. So we actually had a massive feast. We chanted all day long. It was one of the happiest days I've ever spent at Charnation. Did that. So where's our other Charnation? Is he here?
He's not here.
Oh,
He'll be back on
I
Saturday.
wanted to maybe hear that story about Charnation.
Yeah.
Charnation was very, very kind to us. And so at one point, you know, we were thinking, wow, we need to do more books. Now, we're not getting enough books out. We're getting nipped. The Nipper Man. You know who the Nipper is? You've never heard of the Nipper?
Police.
Huh?
Police.
The police, yeah. We get nipped. So I've taken everybody around, I'd take their books and I'd hide them in the trees out by Walmart or somewhere. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but we just hide the books out there. And we just take a few out and we distribute. So, Hare Krishna. So what would happen is we'd have to go pick them up and move them around, or otherwise the Nipper Man would get them, and I'd have to get them out of jail. So getting guys out of jail all the time is a lot of work, right? So I got a lot of stories like that. We can be here all day. I don't want to tell you all the jail stories. But
At least one.
I'll tell you one good jail story. Okay, so we decided we needed bigger places to distribute because we could never be number one. We wanted to be number one so bad. At the same time, Newsletter got read every morning, right? I mean, Prabhupada, he's reading it, he sees your name. And so, you know, you want to be number one. I mean, come on now. And so we just couldn't find a place with enough people to become number one. So one day, Mahaja, did you ask me about Mahaja?
Yeah.
Mahaja and I, and this one boy named Gayatri Dasa, he's no longer with us. I don't know what happened to him, but he was pretty severe book shooter too. And some of the other older devotees, like maybe Brahmacari and Nirguna, I don't know if you heard these names or not. They were on the Sanctum newsletter a lot. And trying to remember who else.
We used to do the Smoky Soup.
Well, here's how we did it. So we get a van, Mahaja's driving, you know, and Mahaja says, get out. And we go, then do what? He said, distribute books. And we go, okay. So he said, I want you all to get arrested. And I'm like, that's not very nice. Why are you telling us you want to get arrested? He said, because we got Amarendra. He's going to get us our First Amendment rights.
Wow.
The Balavant had been talking to him about this. There were lawyers, you know. So the lawyers got together, right? You got to watch out when that happens. So we were the guinea pigs, and we were the sacrificial lambs. And so we jumped out and started hitting everybody up as hard as we could. And next thing we know, the Rangers are around us. Okay, boys, get in the squad car. We're going down to the station. And this ain't the first time, this ain't our first rodeo, so we know the drill.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we're going to get the car. So we go down, we're detained, and then we're released. And then there's this First Amendment. It goes all the way to Supreme Court. And then they come up with this sign that says the National Park Service does not condone or endorse the solicitation activities of these people. They're executing their First Amendment right. Now, okay, so the Smoky Mountains gets 8.5 million visitors a year. It did at the time. I think it gets more now. So we're standing there, and I'm at Sugarlands, which is Ground Zero, right? So Ground Zero, we're down at Sugarlands. And we had this sign behind us. And so a lot of people come up and see the sign and go, no, thanks. So we had to figure out intelligent ways, you know, time, place, circumstance, right? You got to be a little intelligent. So we decided to go to outfitters. Okay, we're like safari outfitters, you know. So we go get the safari shirts, safari pants, and safari hats.
Okay, jeans.
So we look like we're with the park, and we got this badge this kind So people are coming into the park, there's thousands of them coming at us. So what we do is unload the entire van onto two tables, and the books are so high you can barely reach the top. And they're all Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, every kind of book you could imagine that we're going to distribute to these people. So we started talking to them about, you know, Krishna and this and that at first, and we're not getting a lot of action. We get a lot of complaints. And the rangers coming out, boys, you got to be easy, these people are complaining. So we changed our tactics. I'm going to tell you what it was, okay? I can't say that I'm totally proud about it. A few things I did for Krishna that I got to say I'm not totally proud about. Change up was one of them. Paraphernalia, distribution of paraphernalia, like incense sticks and things like that. Not my bad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a preacher. I'm a Brahmin. I didn't come here to do that. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. But the bottom line is these thousands of people are coming and we're missing. So we changed our story to the 30-second line. Has anybody got a 30-second line in here? You ever distributed books with 30 seconds? Never? Takes a little longer?
We don't have a line, but they do just do it like, okay.
Sometimes in 30 seconds. Sometimes in 30 seconds. We had to do it in 30 seconds because the people are passing. And we're going, man, we missed those people. We missed those people. So when people would come, we'd just have this big smile and go, hey, Bear Trapper, welcome to the Smoky Mountains. Did you get your Indian book yet?
Yeah.
And we laid it in their hands and we said, you believe in God, right? And they go, I said, yeah, how could you not with the Smoky Mountains? How beautiful. We closed the book. We said, everybody's giving 20. Could you do a little better?
There you go. That's a good line.
And they did.
Oh, yeah.
By the thousands. And then we needed 2 vans before long. And then before you know it, we're seeing our name coming up on the Sancton newsletter. Prabhupada's paying attention. Who is this guy? Right? So I'm trying to fulfill Bhagavanta's original point, which is don't try to see Prabhupada, but act in such a way that Prabhupada will see you. So I figured if I just keep doing this, Prabhupada will come and he'll find me. And he did. In so many ways. Came in dreams, he came in every other way. Came by giving me ecstasy for doing this. You know what I'm talking about. You go out, you do austerity, you get that privilege of finding a little bit of ecstasy. Right? Anybody had some ecstasy? It's okay, we're not Sahaji. You fall in the rig, right? It's not me. So here's what I'm saying, you know, I mean, Prabhupada will give you a taste, give you a little taste. Sometimes you would have a little tear in the eye. Krishna's purchased by the sincere tears of his devotees. It's okay. It's just between you and Krishna. This is called Bhakti Yoga. It's an emotional thing. Read about it. Goswamis talk about it all the time. Narottam Das, right? Jiva Goswami. They just follow in the footsteps and don't, take it lightly. So that's what keeps you going. When you have a little bit of reciprocation, that's what keeps you going. Through those tough times, you know. So we were arrested in Myrtle Beach. I was arrested in downtown Gatlinburg. I was thrown in jail in every city in the South pretty much once or twice. And normally what they would do is give you a square that you would stand on, and the cop would stand there and look at you. And if you got off the square, they'd arrest you.
So much.
And that happened in Myrtle Beach. We opened a temple in Myrtle Beach. You remember Aja?
Yeah.
I remember Aja, yeah, way back. So Aja and I opened a temple in Myrtle Beach together, you know. And I remember, I'm going to tell you one quick story about how I get arrested for Krishna. So Aja, we were driving in the Sancton van. We had our little house down there right off the beach in Myrtle Beach. We're going to open it up, man. I mean, because this is tourist mecca, right? But we figured Gatlinburg's working good. Let's do Myrtle Beach. So we go to Myrtle Beach, and one day we're driving by. We got an empty Sancton van because we just unloaded all the books at the temple, right? And so he says, pull over, Gayatri. Pull over. And there's a guy over there who's got all this fields of watermelon. Just as far as you can see, watermelon. This is in South Carolina, watermelon country. Watermelon everywhere. So he goes up to the farmer. He's got these big, you've seen these big pull-behinds they have full of watermelons. 10 million watermelons in this thing. So he goes, look, we're a church. We're just opening in town. Would it be okay if we had some watermelons? Take all you want. So me and I just spent the afternoon loading the sanctime van full of watermelons. When we left, the van was down like this. It was amazing. We ate so much watermelon, we thought we were going to die. Watermelon poisoning, right? So we're going, these watermelons are going bad. I said, what are we going to do with all these watermelons? He said, let's go to the beach. And we go to the beach. He goes, yeah. So we go to the beach, and we take this van full of ice cold watermelons or whatever it is. We've been trying to get them cold and stuff. So we go down there, and it's a boardwalk down there. And they got all the beach, and all these beautiful people are out doing their thing, you know, on the beach. So he says, Gayatri, start doing kirtan. I go, okay. So we started doing kirtan. Before you know it, all these beachgoers were slicing watermelon. We just offered it to the Lord. We had a nice offering, right? So we're handing out slices of watermelon to all the beachgoers. And they're like, wow, it's free? We're going, yeah, they get a book, you know, and I'm doing the kirtan, and everybody's starting to dance, and they're all getting around us. About this time, woo, 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 they slide up as if some big criminal bust take place like the most people that ever lived or something. And they come sliding up, they jump out, you know, and they run over and they manhandle us. We're just like, why are you know, and they're pulling us out of this group of people. And the people are going, hey, what are you doing to these people? And we're having a nice time. We're having some music here and some watermelons. And no, this is illegal. Hey, we don't care. We like these people. What are you doing to them? We're arresting them. They don't have a permit. So these people are protesting as we're being put into the police cars and hauled off. All the watermelon was just basically left there, and of course, I guess they ate it. I don't know. So that night in the Myrtle Beach jail, I heard things that I can't describe to you today. But it made me realize what this material world is. It's a prison house. What's going on in the prison house? Criminal activities. What kind?
The worst.
The worst. We'll keep it clean. Okay? But it's a bad place we're living in, guys. It's not just birth, death, old age, disease. Not just that. It's what they're doing to you in between. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had full
This
realization.
morning's Bible time verse was about that.
I love it. Not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. So here's my point. My point is rape, robbery, murder, killing, torture, it's all going on. All around you every day. Under every leaf, under a blade of grass, someone is being eaten alive. Is that a fun time? How much you want of it? You want some more of that? You can have all you want. Or you can go back to Godhead. What do you want to do? You still want some more of this place? A lot more murder and robbery going on here. You get involved. So you're in the right place doing the right thing, guys. And anything you do for Krishna, there's no loss of redemption. It's to your credit eternally. You'll pick it up life after life after life. And I knew that when I saw those Hare Krishnas go by that window at Ram Dasa's place. Ram Das didn't make a bit of sense. He was talking in circles. He had no idea what he was talking about. He's talking about realizing the unmanifest. How many of you guys have realized the unmanifest? How do you know what that is? Great, you know. I mean, we're unmanifest. We're drawn to Krishna's body. You ain't thinking about it, I promise. Jeez, man. I mean, these people come up with all kind of bogus nonsense, and you're the cure. You're the only doctors that can cure them of this disease called impersonalism, Mayavadi. You know, it's out there. People are trying to sell snake oil, and people are buying it. People are being cheated on every street corner. You're the only person that's not cheating them, and guess what? They think you're the only person that is cheating.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. One day, I remember Vaishnavananda, we're in a parking lot, me and Vaishnavananda. Vaishnavananda's from New York.
Yes.
You know, he's a little...
Yes.
He's experienced, let's put it that way. And so me and Vaishnav were coming up with new ways to distribute books. And so, because we couldn't get it, we'd go towards the people and they would run away. They would run away. And they would jump in their car and lock the door and they wouldn't roll the window. We're like, hey, it's okay, it's just me. So anyway, one day Vaishnava Nanda came up with this brilliant idea. We started doing it all the time.
Oh,
And so he would take his wallet out, and he would take his wallet out, and there'd be somebody walking across the parking lot, and he would see somebody he thought he could contribute to, and he'd take his wallet, flip it over, and go, "Hey, you!" I mean, what a way to distribute, right? So the guy would stop and go, "Me? Yeah, you!" And he would start walking at him, and just looking at him. He had his wallet. He'd be walking at him. I remember the first time he did it, I said, "This guy's gone completely crazy." So Vaishnavananda gets there, and when he gets there, he's walking up to the guy like he's going to arrest him or something. He flips his wallet back, grabs his hand, and starts doing a hand job with his He's from Puerto Rico. He's from Bedford Stop, okay?
Yeah, I know.
So he's doing a hand job with the guy. He's working him over, and next thing I know, the guy's got a book, getting his wallet out. So we called it the citation program. We're going to give you a citation for not being a Hare Krishna devotee. Well, this is your time. Now you got a citation. It's time for you to get straightened out.
Is that your citation line?
Yeah, that was a citation line. Remember that line? Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
Well, but I'm just telling you, I'm telling you, there's some crazy stuff. Well, one time, we went to the Eagles concert,
oh yeah.
and we loved to go to the Eagles concert because it was packed, right? So we were all bald-headed, and we were in, in dhotis and stuff. We pulled into the gate, the main gate, and they said, "Who are you?" And Vaishnavananda looks over and said, "We the Chrome Dome, man." We the Chrome Dome. We got to get in here. We're supposed to be on the stage. He figured, this is crazy enough. He's not a little crazy. Let him in. We go in and we're the Chrome Dome. So we got to distribute books there. Now, we made some mistakes in our book distribution career as brahmacharis, because we were out all week. Balavanta said, "Load the van heavy. Don't come back till Mangalar, or don't come back till Sunday feast. Don't come back till Sunday feast. All the books have to be gone." Well, this was our proclamation. So we get out and distribute those books no matter what it took. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't go get no Sunday feast. That's what we felt like. So we treated a little bit like that, to be honest. So we come back from the Sunday feast program, and then right after that, they said, "Load up. You're going after Mangalar TN."
Oh my Lord.
We're gone a week at a time, every single week. We did that for years. For years. So, I mean, we had the Bhagavatam to read, obviously. We were there reading and studying, but we're distributing problems. So, a lot more stories. I don't want to take too much more of your time with it. I'm having fun telling you this stuff. A lot of these stories I probably never told people. I told Chandra, he wants me to tell certain stories, but I don't think we're going to get around to all those stories today. But just know, guys, that this is the primary mission that Prabhupada had in mind. He really didn't know that he would be able to create all these Brahmins, all these scholars like we have with us today. Oh yeah. Now you guys have studied over 50 years. Chandrasekhar is a tremendous scholar. Tremendous scholar. So if you study these books for 50 years, you're going to understand a little bit about what's going on, even if you're not even careful doing it. I mean, even if you're just kind of going through, you're going to get something out of this, okay? So here's our point. We need an army of Brahmins. We need an army of book distributors. We need you to go out and clone yourself. Prabhupada came, nobody's coming, he's living in the Bowery. He figures, okay, give me a bongo drum. give me a bongo drum. There's nothing here. He goes out to the park, he's banging on a bongo drum, guys. Next thing he looks up, all these people are dancing around. Who was there? Kirtanananda, Satvaru, Rupanuga, let's go on down the list. They're all there. Prabhupada assembled his generals. Right then and there. The bongo drum. Don't say it can't be done. Prabhupada did it, you can do it. Go get a bongo drum, man. Just start beating. But my point is this, guys. Y'all are the best of the best, and I'm honored to be in your association, tell you these little stories. There's a lot of more stories that I can tell you, but, you know, I think you get the picture. Let me see if there's one last thing I wanted to share with you before I empty it out.
We have another 15 minutes before our
How many?
15.
Oh. So after the Smoky Mountains and all that stuff in Atlanta, I'm going to tell you something that I got to tell you. Now, this is not necessarily a pleasant story, but sometimes the greatest lessons come from those things that are not so pleasant. Don't you think? Right? So I remember when Prabhupada left, everyone was crying. No one could even speak for days. And we were all just like destroyed, completely devastated. And I mean, it was one of the toughest times of our life. And Prabhupada said that over half of you will leave. And I watched my god brothers just disappear. Did you have an experience like this a little bit? So, you know, it was a tough thing because these are the people that you love. And I swore I would never leave, that I would just always stay. But Balavanta had become a GBC at this point. He was no longer our temple president. We had another temple president. We had 3 buildings. We needed money. We started distributing paraphernalia. Flowers, incense sticks, anything we could get our hands on. Bumper records, candles, name it. Of course, I was a spiritual sky distributor for a while, you know, until we started selling disco bags. And I thought, I don't think this has much to do with my preaching, to be honest with you. You know, smoking paraphernalia.
Sure.
Devotees starting to do these things. So, in 1982, I was disenchanted. Prabhupada had been gone now for what?
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. And I went to the temple president and I said, look, I said, I'm a preacher, you know, I signed on to be a Brahmin, you know. I'd like to build a congregation here, but we don't have one. Because the people we meet, we only meet them for 30 seconds or less. And we sell them something that's totally incognito. We're wearing wigs. We're doing things that I'm ashamed of. I told him, I said, you know, Prabhu, I think I need to probably take a wife and start a business. Because you guys like business so much, I'll just make you millions of dollars. You won't have to worry about it. The rest of the Brahmins can go preach. And he said, Gayatri, you can't have a wife. And I went, why can I not have a wife? What is this here? What kind of program you guys running, right? So he says, well, we just had one fall down. I said, who fell down? He said, Balabhadra fell down. I said, Balabhadra never fell down. He said, he just took a wife. I said, that's not a fall down. You're married. That means you're falling down. I said, this is not making a lot of sense to me. Okay? So I said, if you want me to do business, make me a businessman. And he just said I couldn't get married. I was being groomed for sannyas. Whoa. So I said, okay, don't I have any choice in the matter? You know, at that time, we really did not have any choice in the matter. Brahmacari ashram back then, you might remember a little bit about this. It's pretty harsh, really, to be honest with you. So the next morning, I received a check for like 30 grand in the mail. from an inheritance. And I had to back the program and all that stuff, so I just wrote half of it out, left it on the table to ISKCON as a donation. I bought a Sancton van with the other money, moved to Nashville, opened a temple in Nashville, Tennessee, and Rupanuga moved in with me, lived with me for 3 years. And he was GBC man at the time. And Jamanjaya, who was the president at Morari at the time, he moved in. And we opened the airport in Nashville, started distributing books and making devotees. How'd go? So now I'm back to being a Brahmin, but a businessman Brahmin. And I got a beautiful wife who we got married, Rupanuga married us, and she was a book distributor. It was a very wonderful experience. And it did not feel like a fall down to me at all. Not at all. You should choose the ashram that's right for you. You just read something this morning about that. You have to choose that ashram. But you want to learn Brahmacari first. I was a Brahmacari 8 years. So it was the best training in my life. And then once you know that, then listen, never take a wife if you can't deliver her home back to Godhead. Never have children if you can't deliver them home back to Godhead. Never have anybody that you're in charge of if you can't bring them home back to Godhead. That's the idea. So that should be your permanent mission. Taking everybody back home, back to Godhead. So since then, we've opened 3 temples in Nashville, but we had leases and they've been closed. I was president in Morari for 12 years. We rebuilt that place. We paid off Prabhupada's BBT debt. We did a lot of things there. But you have to cooperate. And when I say cooperate, what I mean is put your feelings aside for the sake of a greater purpose. Get along for the sake of Prabhupada. Put up with whatever you have to stay together. This is your family. Prabhupada said, I will know how much you love me by how you cooperate. If you're not willing to cooperate, it's all lip service. So together we stand, divided we fall, right? And you guys are a strong force together. Stay together. Develop your friendships. Never leave. Never leave. Always stay. This is the only way home. I'm telling you the truth. It's the only way home. So you gotta find your way home through the spiritual master. Okay? Love one another. Be there for one another. These are your real eternal friends. These are the ones you're going to see in the spiritual sky where you're either a cowherd boy or whatever your thing is. And you'll be laughing. Rock talk over there. Everybody will be over there. You'll be hanging out. You'll be at Prabhupada's camp. Come on now. Is it going to get any better? Is it going to get any better? Okay. If you don't have a better plan, are you going to take mine?
Yes.
Say yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for inviting us today to speak on this subject. I'd like to do it again sometime. I'll tell you the rest of the story. Some of them can't be spoken in mixed company. I'm sorry. Okay. Because there was some really tough stuff that went on out there in the field. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. I bet you do. So, yeah. So, I mean, life can be tough out there. And, you know, guys, listen, it's a thankless task. Prabhupada said preaching is a thankless task. You're giving gallons of blood for somebody. They come to the temple. I've had this happen to people that I preached to so hard. They would go to the temple and there'd be one bad devotee, come out there, start telling them all about this abuse and that thing and going on. They're going, really? Never say it again. Do we have problems?
Yes.
Is the world full of them? Yeah. Make the best of a bad bargain. You remember that? Right. That's what we're here to do. You fall down, what do? You get up. How many times? Once?
As many times.
How many?
As many as needed.
Mahota. If you can't listen to him, you can't listen to nobody. I'm just telling you right now. Okay? So you better do what he's telling you. You got a problem? Pick each other up. Lift each other up. Let them cry on your back. You know, there's that story that Christians always say that there was 2 feet marks in the sand, and then all of a sudden there was just one. And it says, that's when God carried you on his back because you couldn't go any further. Just like that Haridas Thakur story, where Haridas was beaten in 22 Marketplace. And Krishna said, Chaitanya said, he said, you wouldn't let me kill them with a Sudarshan Chakra disc. You kept praying for them. So I had to lay over the top of you and take the lashes myself. Where are you going to get that? This is where you get it. Stay plugged in. You come see us at Vendava Forest. We love it. You got to call Rangawati over here. Book your session. And Ajay Nittai says that he's dying to go out on book distribution with you and all the rest of you guys. So you got to take him out. Please take him under your wing a little bit. He's serious book distributor. I mean, he's for real. So, and Chandra's doing his great job with the prison ministry. So, and by the way, we distribute cases when we go to the yoga programs and we do the theater program. When Yadavar's movie came out, we filled up multiple theaters. Everybody got books. We did kirtan and all that. We plan to continue to do that. I just saw Yadavar. He wants us to do it again. It's the 60th anniversary coming up, so we're going to start doing that. Guys, please come. And please, let's cooperate inter-temple. In other words, let's work together, okay? Because this is all about Prabhupada. It ain't about your temple against my temple. We're not competing. We're lifting each other up. We're pushing each other up. And we need to learn to love each other. Listen, not everybody's a pure devotee yet, okay? You might have noticed. You know what I'm saying? So be gentle, be kind, be loving. If you've got something, if somebody needs it, give it to them. If somebody's got something you need, go to them. Don't be shy. That's what this Hare Krishna movement was built for. Please send my humble obeisances. Vanchiko Patru Vichar.